Hello, this is George Sorensen. I'm recording this for the Boulder Bookstore in Boulder, Colorado, in Mile High Boulder, and I'm reporting from Lake Oswego, Oregon, which is at about 80 feet above sea level. I'm here to talk about my new book, The Cello Who Loved Me, An Accidental Pilgrimage to Master the World's Most Beautiful Instrument. I can't show you the book right now because it's not out, but I can show you the cover. Here it is. This is what I look like when we shot that picture. I was wearing this hat and had my cello like this. The book cover would sound like this if you could hear it, but of course you can't. Well, to make it easier to do this interview, I'll just set this down. My interest in playing the cello started when my wife and I were on a National Geographic hike, the Camino de Santiago in Spain. This, as you may know, is a pilgrimage route from the east of Spain to the west to the town of Santiago de Compostela, and it was an ancient pilgrimage route. Well, as we were taking this trip, we encountered a lecturer at one of the hotels, and the lecturer brought out his cello and played it for an hour, and by the time he was done, I thought, I want to be him. I want to be a cellist. And so when I got home, I started taking cello lessons just like that. Didn't tell my wife about him, and she found out when I had the rental cello sitting in our living room one day when she got back from work. From there, I went forward and decided to not only learn it, but then learn my favorite Beatles song on it. And then after a while, started exploring the different luthiers who make cellos, cello performers, professionals, and really began to understand how the cello is a great big community in the world. Everybody who plays the cello knows everybody else who plays the cello. And that's what the book, The Cello Who Loved Me, is about. Now, after I learned to play my favorite Beatles song, I decided to play it on the most beautiful sounding cello in the world, a Stradivarius. So the book is about that pursuit and how I came about it. Now, I've written other books too. I've written a book about how I learned to cook, and which came out a year ago, and that was called Hot Dish Confidential. That year, my friends taught me to cook. Along the same lines, with this book, some friends invited me over for dinner, and they became so alarmed that I didn't know how to cook, they decided to teach me. So we organized themed dinners for a year. And during that year, we did Northern Italian, South of France, Tex-Mex with rattlesnake enchiladas. We did a Charles Dickens Christmas dinner and dressed up like Dickens characters. We had figgy pudding. We had mincemeat pie, pheasant pie. We also did a Greek tunic party. Everybody dressed in Greek tunics. We had octopus and cooked that. It's full of recipes, about 14 of them that tie into the different themes of the dinners that we did. But back to The Cello Who Loved Me. Now, the musical experience I had prior to this was playing the trombone in high school and being the high school drum major. Now, the trombone plays one note at a time. But as you know, the cello you can play 2 or 3 notes or more. You can play chords. You can play harmonies on the cello as well. Plus, you use 2 hands. One is fingering while the other is operating the bow back and forth across 4 strings. So it's far more complicated in that regard. Now, like everybody else, I've played the guitar for a while. I played around on the piano and some other things. But the cello really is more engaging, I found. And you can play duets with people and play in chamber groups. So I thought that was interesting. Now, to begin my lessons, I had to find a teacher, and there are a lot of cello teachers around, and they're all different skill levels. Some are professionals, some are maybe play other instruments as well and can get you started. So that took a while to really kind of get going on it and to be able to play a melody. About a year before I could do that. Surprising things that I learned about cellos while writing the book. Well, pretty much everything. I didn't realize there'd be so much camaraderie within the cello world, far more than with any other instrument I have. Particularly the guitar. If you go to a guitar store and you listen to someone who come in and test the guitar, they usually turn the volume up really loud and they play a familiar riff off of a song, but usually they don't ever play the full song all the way through. With the cello, it's different. It's usually not amplified, except in situations where you're in a music hall or with an orchestra or something like that. So it's just you and the instrument and the projection from the instrument. A couple of books I've read recently and love them. I will say that I read just a little bit of everything. And like a lot of people, if I don't like it after a few chapters, I might set it down and not come back to it. And I don't have any one book to pick out, except, of course, my own. And I've already mentioned those to you, right? So please order the book, support your small press author and support your independent bookstores. That said, thank you very much for the opportunity, and we'll see you in the concert hall and in the bookstore.